Can artificial intelligence write something accurate or meaningful about archaeology? I tested this possibility with ChatGPT. The online interface uses a variant of the generative pre-trained transformer version 3, designed for automated chatbot applications. You enter information, questions, or prompts into the chatbot, and then the chatbot will generate a response based on the related information in its artificial intelligence network. I started with a simple question that I already knew how to answer on my own. What is archaeology? Before looking at the ChatGPT results, here is my answer to the question in one sentence. Archaeology involves the search for facts about what people did in the past. If I need to expand on this definition, then I add 2 sentences. Archaeology obtains physical evidence directly from the past, in the forms of artifacts, food remains, structural ruins, rock art, microscopic residues, or entire landscapes that have retained the material traces of what people did in specific places and time periods. The physical evidence always is objective, and then different analytical and interpretive methods could be applied toward addressing a broad range of questions about how people live in the world, with each other, and through various changing circumstances. Here is the ChatGPT response.
Archaeology is the scientific study of human history and prehistory through the examination of material remains, such as artifacts, architecture, biofacts, and landscapes. Archaeologists use a variety of techniques, including field work, laboratory analysis, and ethnographic and historical research, to understand how people lived in the past and how they interacted with their environments. Archaeologists study a wide range of topics, including ancient civilizations, the development of agriculture, the spread of diseases, the evolution of technology, and the impact of war and conflict. The goal of archaeology is to reconstruct and interpret the past, and to shed light on the human condition and our place in the world.
I considered the ChatGPT results in the same way that I would evaluate a student assignment. In my reading, the ChatGPT text was superficial, incomplete, and misleading. Nevertheless, for many people, the ChatGPT text could be more interesting and more exciting than my version. With applying a little bit of critical thinking, I would hope that most people could identify the problems with the chatbot text. The chatbot started with a routine about how a word that ends with logi must be the scientific study of something. In this case, the chatbot equated archaeology with the study of human history and prehistory. This part may seem okay, but currently most archaeologists would avoid using these words. History is its own separate but sometimes related field of study. Prehistory has become a misleading and sometimes offending word. The chatbot sentence about techniques in archaeology again may seem okay at first, but it contains deficiencies. The techniques here are in fact not techniques. Maybe they could be described as approaches, but they are sadly incomplete and misleading in this form of presentation. The ChatGPT text refers to some but not all analytic methods of archaeology, presented equally along with some but not all interpretive methods of archaeology. Without going into detail here, I can clarify that the philosophy of science in archaeology involves a logical relationship among the techniques of gathering primary data evidence, the methods of analyzing or interpreting the evidence, and the theory about the potential hypotheses that could be tested. Apparently, without recognizing the roles of technique, method, and theory in archaeology, the chatbot found some of the most popular examples of words and phrases related to archaeology. The examples are incomplete, and archaeology involves much more than these examples. Furthermore, most archaeologists currently would cringe when seeing words about ancient civilizations and evolution of technology. ChatGPT claims the goal of archaeology is to reconstruct and interpret the past. Strictly speaking, reconstruction and interpretation are two different things, and neither one is a goal of archaeology. Reconstruction is one possible but not required part of an interpretive methodology. Interpretation represents one aspect of the methodology of linking the technical data of archaeology with a hypothesis that was generated through theory in archaeology. GPT claims that archaeology works with these two goals that are not really goals, along with another two goals of understanding the human condition and our place in the world. You probably can notice a logical flaw here wherein ChatGPT attempted to describe a set of possible objectives toward achieving possible goals. In my reading, the chatbot started with a stock phrase of "the goal of archaeology is," and then the text ran into logical problems. Even with looking through the logical issues, the chatbot still was superficial in finding only 2 of the most popular methodological aspects of archaeology toward addressing only 2 of the most vague goals of archaeology. I will not share all of the details in this video, but I did test a few more questions about archaeology in ChatGPT. The results were similarly disappointing yet perhaps entertaining. I would recommend against using the texts in ChatGPT or similar systems at their face value. Anyone using basic critical thinking skills will identify the superficial nature and the logical flaws. Anyone familiar with the specific topic will identify numerous problems. I could imagine someone using artificial intelligence as a starting point for creating a text that would need to be rewritten. What are your thoughts about this experiment? What could be the potential for using artificial intelligence in archaeology or in other fields? Thank you for watching here. I will see you in the next video.